Hello and welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. Well, I've had a few days off doing some work in the garden and, still kind of getting over some of the health things. But all is well. And so today we've got, first of all, welcome to everyone. Welcome to my subscribers. I'm up to 593 now. And welcome to returning viewers and new viewers too. Hope you like what you see, find it interesting. And anyways, yeah, sorry, whatever. I've been wanting to get one of these for quite a long time, and but I was never willing to pony up the money. But I ordered a paint rack for the hobby paints, and well, here I'll show you. I think I showed it before. I think I showed it when I got it, just in pieces. But yeah, so there it is. And they're not the right shape for the Tamiya pots. They're just a little bit too small. And of course, they're way too big for the vallejo. I guess I should be doing it down there. So anyways, I was thinking, I could have sanded each and every one of these down or filed them or whatever. It's just pasteboard. And but then I thought, you know what? I need a rotary tool. Like a Dremel. Yeah. And I convinced myself that that I needed one, and that I could also use it on other things around the house. The lies we tell ourselves and our wives. Okay, so here we go. So this is Tack Life, made in China. Yes. Okay, and this is corded, and as you can see, it isn't really mini. It's fairly heavy duty, and it is corded. But you've got all these grinding wheels and all of these other attachments. Some of which I'm going to have to figure out what to do with. So all of these other attachments, and it has an extension thing, so if you're in a tight corner or whatever. Anyways, got it from Amazon. $36.16, including tax. Oh yeah, so there. Figure it out later. There you go. So, if you're looking for that kind of thing, it's Tack Life, and it's an American company, but of course, not for much longer. They were doing all their manufacturing in China. Yeah, so here we are during a period of adjustment. So anyways, yeah, I figured, how could I go wrong for that price? And it's going to be handy for all sorts of things. And so anyways, I got a new kit. Yeah. And this one came from the same place that Canada Post charged me duty on for the Mesozoic creatures. But there was no duty on this. Or So I don't know how it works. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe they just randomly pick things to punish you. I don't know. Anyways, so I've been wanting one of these for a little while, and you know, the right kind of thing didn't really come along. But then I saw this. The Gloster Gladiator Mark II by Roden. It's a 1/48 scale. And this is the Winter War version. You know, by the time World War, as most people know who watch this, who are interested in this kind of thing, by the time World War II rolled around, and even before that, the Gladiators were they were pretty much obsolete. But they did very well. We'll talk about that. They did very well in the Winter War. They were, I believe, they were donated by Sweden. But we'll take a look at it. And I only have one other Roden kit, and they're a Ukrainian manufacturer. And I don't want to diverge too much into politics, but I certainly have to condemn the Iskander ballistic missile attack on Sumy in the Ukraine. Killed numerous people, wounded dozens. Just a blatant disregard for any kind of rules of civilized war, if those two words go together. So, yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about that, other than that it's horrific and that it should not go unpunished. Okay, so enough of that. So we've got the, yeah, what is there? Let me see here. It looks like it's their kit number 401. And they indicate late version with ski undercarriage, which is why I got it. I got the ski undercarriage. It's really cool. Look, they look like little boots. Little ski boots. Okay, so yeah, so there we go. So we've got Roden here. And the one Roden kit I had, I think it was the Puma. Yeah. And I've heard Roden kits are pretty good. The only thing kind of thing that I heard was that sometimes they tend to be a little over-engineered, which I found with the Puma. There were far too many unnecessary parts, at least for my taste. Others might not matter. Excuse me. And Roden is based in Kiev, whereas ICM, I believe, is based in Sumy. So, although they may have, I don't know how it's all set up anymore, but I know one of the big Ukrainian manufacturers is in Sumy, because I've received stuff from them. Okay, and they have a series of the Gloster Gladiators. They have the Gloster Sea Gladiator here, which is kit number 405. And then they've got the Gladiator Mark I, which is their kit number, catalog number 408. And on the side of the box here it reads Gloster Gladiator Mark II, version of the last RAF biplane fighter with improved technical characteristics. In total, 270 Mark IIs were built. They were widely used during the early years of World War II. The Gladiator Mark II took part in the battle for Norway and the fighting in North Africa. Finnish and Swedish Gladiators successfully fought against Soviet aircraft in the Winter War. Some planes served in second line until 1944. Yeah, so very interesting there. Okay, yes, so it first saw service In October 1937, well, in October 37, the Chinese central government, before it was communist, they ordered 36 Gladiators, and they were delivered in 2 batches to Guangzhou via Hong Kong. They used the American M1919 Browning machine gun and Springfield 3-06 ammunition. And by February 1938, the aircraft had been assembled into 2 squadrons, and Chinese pilots familiarized themselves with them. It had its combat debut on the 24th of February 1938, when the Japanese invaded Nanking, and a Chinese-American Captain Wang Sun Shui shot down a Mitsubishi A5M Claude naval fighter. And so he was also believed to have shot down a second one. And they lost 2 in the engagement. But overall, they scored many victories over the Japanese aircraft between 1938 and 1940. And they continued to use them until, well, I guess they didn't use them much after the Chinese occupation, but in any case. So for this one, for the Winter War, the Finnish Air Force obtained 30 Mark II fighters from the UK. 10 of the aircraft were donated, while the other 20 were bought by the Finnish Air Force. And all were delivered between the 18th of January and 16th February 1940. First entered service on February 2nd, 1940. And the Finnish Gladiators served until 1945, but they were outclassed by modern Soviet fighters during the Continuation War, and the aircraft was mostly used for reconnaissance after 1941. Finnish Air Force obtained 45 aerial victories by 22 pilots with the aircraft during the Winter War, and 1 further victory during the Continuation War. 12 Gladiators were lost in combat during the Winter War, and 3 during the Continuation War. 2 pilots became aces with the aircraft, and besides the Finnish Air Force Gladiators, the Swedish Voluntary Air Force, responsible for the air defense of northernmost Finland during the later part of the Winter War, was also equipped with Gladiator fighters. And Flying Regiment F-19 arrived in Finnish Lapland on 10th of January 1940 and remained there until the end of hostilities. They fielded 12 Gladiator Mark II fighters, 2 of which were lost in fighting, and both of those were flown by the Swedish Air Force, but flew Finnish nationality markings. Swedish Gladiators scored 8 aerial victories and destroyed 4 aircraft on the ground. One concern was expressed when F-19 executive officer Bjorn Bugren wrote in his memoirs that the tracer rounds of the Gladiator machine guns would not ignite the aviation spirit when penetrating the fuel tanks of Soviet bombers. That was probably because by that time they had adopted the American or the American-British bladder fuel tanks. So, anyways, yeah, and you'll still see on the Finnish Air Force the swastika, what is really the swastika, and which has been a symbol of good luck and good fortune forever. The German Nazis turned it on its side, and interestingly enough, they never called it a swastika. They called it Hakenkreuz, which translates to hooked cross. So when you see this symbol, some in the Finnish Air Force still wear patches, although they've removed them from the livery of the aircraft themselves. But some do wear the swastika patch, and we'll see the difference as we go on here. Okay, so very nice box art. I don't see a signature, but it does look like it was hand painted. Oh, there's some kind of signature here, it looks like. Maybe it'll tell us who it is in the instructions. So, and yeah, they were quite successful, and although they were slow, that actually worked to their advantage in many cases. And of course, with the skis, they could take off and land practically anywhere. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and this clocked in about $56. So, which I thought was pretty, about average for a 148. Aircraft model kit. Nice sturdy box, not just flimsy cardboard. It's got the sides, reinforced sides. And we have nicely packaged instructions with a lengthy explanation. So let's see what we've got here now. How's everybody doing? You know, spring is upon us with fair weather, and I spent part of the day today transferring seedlings into pots and transplanting some other things. Got lots of strawberries this year. Had quite a few survive over the winter. So I think we're going to have a dozen or more plants, which bodes very well for delicious strawberries through the winter. Okay, so get quite a booklet here, and we'll see. So I'll just read a bit of this here. In 1937, the Royal Air Force's last biplane fighter, the Gloster Gladiator, did not satisfy the demands of modern air combat. Future belonged to high-speed monoplanes, and the war that approached Europe would become a war of next-generation technology. However, the interests of the British Empire meant military presence in the most remote parts of the world, including South Africa and the Middle East. This is why the Ministry of Aviation placed an order with the Gloster Aircraft Company for the improved Gloster Gladiator Mark II, modified according to the requirements of specification F3637. The most significant innovation was the substitution of the Bristol Mercury 9 engine with the Mercury 8A. The capacity was still the same, but the gear ratio was 0.572, permitting the installation of the new 3-blade Ferry Reed metal hair screw. And there were no further external differences, but the designers also paid attention to improving the business of flying the aircraft. The Mark II had an electric engine starter, improved navigation system, and new equipment for measuring altitude and climb rate. Since the intended operation area was a desert, the aircraft was equipped with a tropical carburetor intake, as well as a special container with water and provisions. At the time of the Battle of Britain, 247 Squadron of the Royal Air Force was the only unit equipped with the Gladiator Mark II. Pilots flying the type managed to score several victories. Most notable campaigns in which the Gladiator Mark II took part were the Battle for Norway, as we mentioned, South Africa campaign, and etc., etc. So, we'll take a look, and Got a nice decal set here. They feel a little thick, about the same as the Tamiya type decals. It doesn't say cartograph or water slide or anything. And we've got a number of symbols here. We've got British. This was the Swedish and the Swedish Finnish. So yeah, we've seen this before in some other kits. Obviously, the swastika is, or the hooked cross, I should say. It's still outlawed in a lot of European countries, and its display is frowned upon. So they get around that by splitting them up. So they don't actually look like it until you put them together. So, but if you look at this, you'll see that everything is vertical and horizontal, whereas with the Nazi hooked cross, it was like this. So the parts, whatever you call that, the arms would be on an angle, juxtaposed, as opposed to whatever kind of axis plane you want to call that. Okay, and everything's in one bag, which is okay. It looks like there's two sprue racks and a clear. Ooh. Okay, here's this is interesting. We've got some flash here, but can you see the detail on the control panel? All the gauges, it's clear, and all the gauges are indented or impressed. But yeah, there's quite a bit of flash here, and it looks to be some very tiny window parts. It may be, see that there, and it may be an indicator of open or closed cockpit. We'll have to see about that in the instructions. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I haven't seen that before. I'll put this in with the decals. Okay, so yeah, like I said, you know, the rumors I'd heard and my experience with the one Roden kit was that they tended to be a little over-engineered. But I looked at this carefully, and while there are a fair number of small parts, it doesn't seem excessive. They're not excessive. The plastic itself, there is flash here, and the plastic itself feels good and has nice detail. You can see the ribs and the canvas of the body here, and likewise for the wings. So you know, the body of the aircraft, this is a nice cowling. I like that. That looks nice. Okay, and then this one, yes, it looks like we've got for two versions. We've got the metal 3 whatever and the 2. The rotors here, or pistons, I don't know, was it a rotary engine? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, and so we've got the guns here, and engine detail, not super detailed, but that's okay. Gets covered by the cowling anyways. And so the upper, it looks like the upper cowling is one piece, and then the lower cowling is two pieces. And it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3 pieces to the engine assembly. And looks like a pretty simple build. Here's the skis, and there is no option for wheels on this one. Well, actually there are some wheels here. My bad. Yeah, so you can go with wheels or without wheels, but I'm Canadian, so I'll go with the winter stuff. I'll tell you, you haven't lived till you've landed and taken off in a ski plane. Either on water or snow. Yeah, it's a thrill, let me tell you. Okay, and so this is very nice. They give you the specifications. Wingspan, length, wing area, takeoff weight, all that stuff. Lots of people are interested in. Okay, so pretty straightforward build here. There's some decent cockpit detail here, and there are decals for the cockpit control panel. So yeah, so here we go, and I don't know, I can't tell if there's more than one option here. Pretty straightforward. The guns go in. All this goes together. There is no figure, but looks like a nice opportunity to detail there. And then we've got adjustable flaps, and here are the skis. And here we go again. More flaps on the lower wings. How it all goes together. They give you the struts. Okay. Am I missing something? This shows this going in as one piece. Did I miss something? Ah, I did. Ah, here we go. We missed a whole bunch. Okay, and they recommend Humbrol paints. You get a nice sprue map. There's nothing shaded out, so it looks like you're going to use everything. I mean, except for the optional wheels. And then here it shows the cowling and the engine assembly. These little bits will be interesting. I'll have to wait for an OCD day on that. And here we go again with the this looks like an air intake, and then it shows the cockpit assembly, and if you're going to do the wheels, how to do the wheels. And then we go to the bottom, underside, and shows you how to put the wheels on, or the skis, whichever you're doing. And finally, the little antennae. You got your option here for the 3-blade. That's what they're called, blades. The 3-blade propeller or the 2-blade propeller. And then we've got this one here, Gloster Gladiator Mark II, 247 Squadron, Roboro, August 1940. Flown by N.I.C. Francis. Okay, so yeah, so then you've got the British livery there. And this is the Norway. This is the Norway paint scheme. Obviously you want like a snowy, whatever, you know. And then this one. Now here's what I'm talking about with the swastika. See how those go like that and like that? Whereas if it's a swastika, it's like that. So, or if it's a hooked cross, it's like that. So anyways, it's a technical thing, but you can't tell people anything, so they just pretty much eliminated it. Okay, so yeah, and then this one here is Finnish Air Force, which is why you have the swastika. And then here we've got another Finnish Air Force model. It's the Swedish Air Force. And another Swedish Air Force. So that's kind of cool. Skull and crossbones. And oh, and there's some rigging to be done, which will be fun, I think, maybe. I've done a bit of ship rigging. I haven't done anything on airplanes, but live and learn, as they say. Okay. Okay. Time to rate the kit. Time to rate the kit. Okay, I use a 12-point system. It's 10 standard points, up to 2 points for packaging, up to 2 points for the sprues, up to 3 points for the parts, and up to 3 points for the instructions. I also allow a quarter-point bonus for any wow factors, and an additional up to an additional 1 full point for what I call value. And that's, you know, not just is it a cheap kit, but, you know, how much, you know, how much enjoyment am I going to get out of it? How many hours of fun and not frustration am I going to get out of it? So as far as the packaging goes, I'm going to give it a full 2 plus a quarter point for the extra sturdy box, and the box art is very nice as well. The external shipping packaging, it came in a very beat up large cardboard box, but it seems there's only just a little bit of damage there, but that's not on Roden. The sprues, they look fine. I'm gonna yeah, the plastic looks fine. You know, the nubs and, you know, recesses, ejection pin marks, there weren't anything there, but there was more flash than I like to see, so that's 1.75. Again, parts, the quality of plastic was good, the details halfway decent, there weren't any warped or broken parts, and a very nice decal set, multiple decal sets. So we're going to give it an extra quarter point on that, so that's 3.25. You got three different, at least three different decaling options. So there you go. As far as the instructions go, they look fine. Very straightforward. Would have been nice if they, well, no, yeah. So nice general service and history notes. They were clear. They were laid out nicely. So no complaints there either. So that's a full 3. Children. Okay, so that brings us up to 10.25, and I'm going to give it a quarter point bonus for value. So that takes it up to 10.5 out of 12, which is pretty respectable. It's not a complicated kit, but it's an interesting, interesting variation of the subject. You know, you see all kinds of gladiators out there, but I thought, yeah, this one was kind of unique. So, yeah, good for you, Roden. Yeah, that looks like it'll go together nicely. Of course, the proof is in the pudding, and we'll see. But, yeah. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate everybody's time. And hope you enjoy what you see. Something a little different here. And, yeah, check out that rotary tool. I mean, how can you go wrong for 36 bucks? Especially with all those accessories. So, and I'm not going to use it for heavy duty stuff, I expect. So, in any case, all right. So, thanks again, and hoping everybody's doing well, enjoying the springtime and the improving weather. And we will see you next time. Bye now.